I think it's time we put the notion of iDubbbz being an empathetic individual to rest. He has shown time and time again what kind of person he actually is, but many still see him as someone who has truly developed into a better human being, and it would seem Ian is still under this impression that he is an empathetic individual. After all, this is a person who has claimed that his content cops were harmful videos and that he wanted to go in a different direction. Therapy is the best thing ever because it taught him that staying out of drama is key to becoming happy. And of course, can't forget about unlocking empathy at level 33. When you put yourself on a pedestal such as this, then people will hold you accountable to your word. And if Ian were to fail to display any signs of changing, then people will rightfully call him a hypocrite. Sure, we know Ian bravely stopped saying slurs, but that doesn't mean he can't be grown up in other ways. So today I'm gonna rank Ian's most empathetic moments since his apology video so we can truly understand how good of a person he has become. At the top of the tier we have Champion of Empathy. This is reserved for Ian's most heroic moments on the internet, becoming the symbol of what it means to be a good person. In the middle we have Good Samaritan. Ian is still a good person, but his actions are not as impactful in this category. And lastly we have Not Very Empathetic. This is for the times Ian tries to be a good person, but nothing major comes out of it. Alright, let's begin. Now, Ian made it clear the content cop video on Ethan Klein came from a place of goodwill. This was a teaching moment for Ethan Klein, to show the error of his ways, if you will. Naturally, when criticizing someone you want to see do better, you should call out their actions as opposed to stooping to their level. When Ethan Klein made fun of Ian's tattoos, how did the great empath respond? Did he A, claim these insults about his tattoos are childish, B, say nothing, or C, behave just as childishly as the grown man Ian is making fun of?
I can show your tattoos in all of their glory, or I can show that your tattoo made it to the top of awful taste but great execution subreddit, but it's sort of a failure in every other aspect.
Childish, yes, but ultimately a non-issue. Bottom tier. During the content comp video, Ian decided to invite a group of people who despise Ethan Klein to make fun of him for an extremely hilarious skit. I don't know about you, but antagonizing an individual and sticking up the middle finger is actually a great way to help someone who is hurting. If I saw that, I would definitely rethink my actions as a person. Thank you, Ian, for showing Ethan the error in his ways. Middle tier. Ian was interviewed recently on a podcast called Western Kabuki, claiming in order for Ethan to truly understand his poor behavior, he would have to crash and burn and would have to get hurt in a very life-changing way, but not, and this is important, but not necessarily physically hurt.
I think Ethan would have to, as an example, but there's many other people, but Ethan as the example, would have to crash and burn and get hurt in like a very life-changing way. Not physically hurt necessarily.
Right, yeah.
But if he wants to do boxing, like, I'll fucking, sure, I'll do it. But yeah, hurt in some way, feel the fucking impact and the weight of, his actions. Like, that's great.
Who fucking talks like this? Like, Ethan already had CPS called on him, so do you want something worse to happen? I'm sure you and your wife practicing your version of empathy, constantly doing this back and forth shit online with Ethan is certainly helping him. As we know, the best way to stop bad behavior is to constantly engage with that individual. Middle tier. During an interview with Noah Samson, the topic of someone sending human skulls to Ethan Klein was brought up, and the great empath of our generation had this to say.
One last question. Did you send the skulls? What is your opinion on the skulls, and did you send them?
I didn't send the skulls. I don't know. I thought the skulls thing was kind of humorous to hear that. Especially when I heard that they were like from skulls.com or some shit like that.
Do you think he sent the skulls himself?
I don't. Let's put it this way. I don't
endorse sending skulls to anyone's houses.
It's okay, guys. Ian disavowed human remains being sent to people's homes as a threat. He thinks it's funny as fuck, but that's still not a very nice thing to do to someone. As we know, making yourself look like an unhinged psychopath is essential when it comes to unlocking empathy. As an empath myself, when someone tells me that human skulls were sent to their home as a threat, my first reaction as well is to say, that's humorous. I can only imagine what other dark thoughts go through Ian's head.
He's definitely the one. Now it's just a matter of time before he becomes a drop of blood in my glass slide collection. But I have to wait. I have to be careful. And follow the code of Harry. One less amateur filmmaker polluting the internet.
I believe this is worthy of the top tier. Yes, another case of Ethan Klein insulting iDubbbz. Will this be a turning point for our hero to teach our pal Ethan that he's behaving immaturely? But maybe iDubbbz can show him the way. Will iDubbbz save the day or resort to stooping to Ethan's level once more? Oh, we're back to being childish. Ethan Klein made a joke about fucking iDubbbz while his wife watches in the corner like a cuck, so Ian decides to call Ethan the new king of incels. Insults I would hear on the playground when I was in the 4th grade. Just another example of Ian stooping to Ethan's level, and as a bonus, Ian proving he doesn't even know what the word incel means. Bottom tier. Before iDubbbz enlightened Ethan Klein, he was running an event for charity to help those with cancer. Unfortunately, Ian encountered a dilemma. After H3 called out Ian over his silence during the CPS situation, Ian had to choose between engaging in online beef with H3, which would no doubt jeopardize his charity event, or actually practice what he preached on his podcast about how it's best to stay out of situations like these. Well, our brave hero of the story decided that YouTube drama was more important than raising money for cancer patients. Joking aside, what the fuck? It's still crazy to me that this guy admitted he chose to engage in YouTube drama over continuing to run his charity event, which led to many boxers dropping out and worsening ticket sales. I'm glad to see you have your priorities straight. Definitely top tier. Nothing more empathetic than purposefully leaving out context for something that's the main cause of one's anger, especially when you claim you're just trying to help them. Defending the main cause that ignited that distress in the first place is next level empathy though.
It led to me making this video in the first place. You were triggered by this CPS harassment thing.
Not really much to say here. This is definitely deserving of top tier. Now here's a classic. Meeting up with another YouTuber to change another YouTuber's apology video grade, only to become salty for failing to stick it to the person you tried to screw over in the first place. It was really interesting to see Ian put this in the video despite trying to push this narrative that the content cop was made to help Ethan. Yeah, this isn't malicious at all. We're just trying to screw you over in every way possible. Even so, I would just put this in the middle tier. Guys, can we just acknowledge that Ian has a very good sense of timing? After crafting this masterpiece, Ian decided to upload the video way before the event of Creator Clash 3, and while Ethan Klein was live streaming, knowing full well this will cause issues with Lena, someone who works for Ethan Klein and was a boxing participant for Ian's charity event. She ended up having a panic attack because of the situation Ian put her in, and as we know, causing panic attacks is top tier empathy. Still though, I'd probably just put this in the middle tier. I don't think it's comparable to laughing about a skull being sent to someone's home. Alright, so based off my calculations, and by simply using my fucking brain, iDubbbz is still a shitty person, and anyone who believes this dude is genuinely empathetic lacks a frontal lobe.